Hi guys, Chief Nia Krishnan here. Welcome back to our channel. Guys, actually I will be joining the vessel which will be going to dry dock in another 20 days. I am doing back to back in that vessel. So actually I started preparing the dry dock specs when I was on board. It was again continued by my reliever, and he has also done a very good job. Now I will be relieving him again. So now I have the dry dock specs with me. What I have to do is now to do some pre-preparations. After I join, I have to discuss with my team regarding the same. So whatever I will be doing now, I will be sharing with you. So first thing is, our vessel is 5-year-old, so this is going to be the first special survey for that vessel. So okay, we have a lot of things to cover. So deck part, as of now I'm leaving it because there's no time. Actually the video will become too long. There also a lot of things are there, but for initial preparation I'm telling initial preparation. So first thing is, as you know very well guys, some of them may be wondering how to, you will feel lot of heaviness before when you know that you are going to join a vessel which is going to dry dock in another 15-20 days. Okay, even if we are not doing back to back also, in case I'm just telling for your concern, everything is pre-planned by the company guys. Our job is to execute. So you don't need to take too much mental pressure, but only need to do the preparation properly. Of course company will also keep a tab, but I'm just telling it is a very difficult situation where immediately after we have to join, especially at chief engineer and master level, top 4 basically. It is a difficult task because with my experience in dry dock is multitasking, where at the same time you have to attend 4 people. Surveyor will be there, he will be pointing out something. Superintendent will be there, he will be telling some certain things to do. Owner may be there, he will also do certain things. Ship chandler will be there for the spare parts, because everybody is important, and at the same time the best way to handle the situation is to attend on priority basis. Priority surveyor, because we need to get the certificates, so before the vessel departs. So anyway, okay, dry docking, this vessel is LT cooled system. Initially while we prepare the dry dock, we need to focus on first cooling arrangements, air connection and shore power. Regarding cooling connection, if you have an LT system, it is recommended to fabricate you need to fabricate a plate with the pipe with 2 receivers at the size of a fire hose. It should be okay. It should be sufficient for the generator cooling only, generator cooling and reefer and AC. So LT cooler, where you put the filter, at that place you can use this plate with a 2 pipe connection. And because the reason why it is suggested to do in this way is, LT cooler, the shore water pressure, you don't have any control. Shore water will be dirty, LT cooler will get dirty, that is understandable. But the problem is, if you use the direct line from the deck, you don't have sacrificial anodes also. 2 issues are there. With my experience I'm telling, you don't have sacrificial anodes, and you don't have control over the shore water pressure. If the shore water pressure is too high, the tubes will leak. Especially if the atmospheric condenser tube leaks, you know what will happen. So if you have your LT pump running, your system is safe. That is why we are trying. I will be preferring through the LT cooler. It's not that people who are using that line, they are wrong. I'm only telling for the safer side. I prefer to do like this. So I need to tell for fabrication of LT cooler this thing. Receiving pipe. Okay. Then so now if in case if the vessel is seawater cooled, you need to get the PCD of reefer, AC, ECR AC. These three are you need to give them the PCD. So just see what type of the cooling systems you have. So this is with respect to the cooling system. Cooling system, I am actually hurrying fast, but cooling system is very important. If any small mistake, there will be a contamination. It will create a huge problem. That is why that line from the deck, I am telling that contamination is another thing which will be a problem. Probability is there. LT cooler, it can withstand fluctuation in pressure, whereas our tubes can't withstand. Cooler tubes, suppose if you are using the individual line, that too without sacrificial anodes, the dry dock water is going to be dirty, no doubt. Wherever you go, it's going to be dirty. Whether fresh water or sea water, anyway it's going to be dirty only. So this is with respect to the cooling part. Air connection, if you have your service air compressor running, better to use it. In case if you don't want to use your service air compressor, I have to request to the SRMs. I have to write like this, like what to write for the superintendent. I have to write here SRM in another page and to my engineers in another page. Like that I have to plan. To SRM, I have to give him the, I have to ask him what is the status of air connection, whether he is going to give. I will see whether I will ask my team whether how good is the service air compressor, if it is okay, because the air connection, the problem is there are chances that water carryover will be more when you use from the shore. So in case if you use from your service air compressor, you are safe. So if there is no alternative, need to take from the yard only. So if you want to get it from the yard, you need to have multiple connections. There will be some of them, they will give you a manifold from where you can attach your service air hoses, couplings. Otherwise, I am planning to tell to the SRM to give service air just to give to the one in deck and one in engine. In deck, I have to ask with them also whether one is sufficient. Otherwise, depending on our usage, I think for engine room one should be good enough, and they can connect it to any of our service connection. If you get the hose and connect it to any of our service connections, it will be available everywhere in the engine room. You can use it. And only problem is our non-return valves in the air system should be okay, because you will be inspecting the air bottle, no. So anyway, this is with respect to the air system. Shore power, our vessel is having breaker capacity is 400 ampere breaker. So this we have to tell, I think it's 400 amps. Okay, 400 ampere breaker, I'm telling for a Cape size vessel, 1,80,000 tonner or this thing, we can run. You need to have an idea what are all things will be running once inside the dock. According that is how the preparation stage we have to do. So inside the dock, I have decided to run my LT system, as I told before. So one LT pump I have to run, one AC, engine room blower, galley power, reefer. These are mandatory. And deck, they will ask for winch power. If they ask for winch power, hatch or crane and all, it's provision crane and hatch cover is it should not be an issue. But I have to see the electrical analysis drawing to ensure that I am within the safe zone. I have my manual, I have the vessel's manual here, I can see, but I am just telling how to go through this to calculate the machinery load consumption. So 400 ampere, I think this should be okay. You have your external cooling from the yard to the LT cooler. I have my LT pump running. I can connect it to, I can switch on these machineries. Should be within the limit. Your most highest consumer is the LT pump, engine room blower and AC. Other things are you can play with here and there. Guys, some of the yard, there will be lot of interruptions. I have faced it in cooling water connection and in shore power. Lot of blackouts used to happen. Many times AC has tripped because of low cooling water pressure. Sometimes the pressure is too high, sometimes the pressure is too low. So these things are all practical difficulties. It's all there. So if these things, it all depends on which shipyard your vessel is being planned as decided by the owners. Okay. So to the SRM, what about the air connection? And to my team, I have to tell the service air compressor. Okay. So now we are done with what are all the things which we basically require from the yard. These three we basically require. Okay. So this we have to be very clear during the preparation stage. So if they want some power, whether we can give or not. So some of the vessel, while undocking, they require ballast pump immediately. It will, but we cannot give until we start our own power. Till that time they have to wait. So some of the vessel, they have to manage with the yard for safe undocking. You give us ballast from the shipyard. That also used to happen, depending on the type of the vessel which you are in. So okay, shore power meter initial reading. You need to take a photo of the initial reading of the shore power meter for calculation of consumption. This is to my team, which I have to tell to ETO to have a record. Okay. So okay guys, regarding the jobs in the dry dock, you all know it's going to be hectic. After I sign on, that's why the first thing what I will do is how many people are in the end of their contract. That is what is the first thing I will see. If everybody are within their contract, I'm happy. At the end of the contract or contract completed, I have to have a nice chat with them regarding I have to know what is going on in his head. Should be cooperative, be it anybody. Because dry dock is the time where we require everybody's cooperation. Because a good team can manage the dry dock very easily. In the sense, of course, running around is there, but in a very nice way. Whereas if one fellow who is, mentally tired, because see, he has to sign off. There's no fault from his side. If he has to sign off, he has to sign off. If his contract getting completed, that's why I always prefer that next time if I get a message from my chief engineer on board, I have to ask him how many people are due in the engine room, because even if one fellow is crying to do this thing or something, if he gives a sorry face or something, it's going to spoil the entire vibe in the engine room. So which is the last thing I need. Okay.